Thank you all for being here today. Then we begin with the topic of our presentation, Landscape approach to formation of system of ecologically balanced use of natural resources legal framework. The priority of further development of civilization is the harmonization of interaction of society and nature. However, the ecological situation continues to deteriorate relentlessly, thus posing a real threat to the existence of mankind. There is a sphere. How to ensure systematic consideration of environmental and economic interests, which is a condition of sustainable, well-balanced development as a new paradigm of interaction between society and nature. Simultaneous resolution of environmental protection and socio-economic development issues is one of the main activities of any civilized state nowadays. It is necessary to solve a difficult task to find a balance in the system, environment, economic development. There is a need to develop and to implement the concept of environmentally sustainable use of natural resources, which should be based on reaching a compromise between economic investment and social needs of society and on the principles of sustainability. For this purpose, the need to develop the legal framework of landscape principle in nature management, which involves changing approaches to the use of natural resources, taking into account negative consequences of human intervention in natural process and the balance of interest of natural and society development requires special urgency. The issue of environmentally sustainable use of natural resources was first addressed at the World Summit on Environment and Development in Rio de Janeiro in 1992 and Johannesburg in 2002. However, a breakthrough at the civilization level has not been achieved. Therefore, the 21st century should become a bifurcation point in the system society-nature that should be accompanied by specific human actions to harmonize the relationship between society and nature. In 2015, the UN Summit on Sustainable Development adopted Sustainable Development Goals, hereinafter SDG, key areas of countries' development for the period up to 2030, with 17 global goals and 169 targets relevant to them. Ukraine, like other UN member states, joined the global process of sustainable development. In 2017, the Cabinet of Ministers of Ukraine presented the National Report Sustainable Development Goals, Ukraine, which defines basic indicators for achieving the SDG. The report presents the results of the adaptation of 17 global SDGs, 86 tasks and 172 indicators of national development by 2030, taking into account the specifics of national development. The law of Ukraine on the basic principles strategy of state environmental policy of Ukraine for the period up to 2030 of 28th of February 1918 defines as one of the main tasks the creation ecologically balanced system of natural resources use. Ecologically balanced use of natural resources is an equilibrium ratio between the use of renewable natural resources and the intensity of their restoration, as well as economical use of non-renewable natural resources. Introduction of ecologically balanced system of nature management is directly related to the application of landscape approach to the use of natural resources. Legal codification of the principle of landscape approach to nature management is stipulated by Pan-European Biological and Landscape Diversity Strategy 1995, according to which the countries of the European Community took responsibilities to significantly reduce the threat to biological and landscape diversity in Europe, of which Ukraine is a part. In 2000, they ensure the sustainable development based on balanced and harmonized relationship between social needs, economic activity, and the environment. The European Landscape Convention of 20th of October 2000 was adopted, ratified by the law of Ukraine of 7th of September 2005. Pursuant to Article 1 of the Convention, landscape is defined as an area as perceived by people whose character is a result of the action and interaction of nature and/or human factors. As a part of the European Landscape Convention and other international agreements, Ukraine has committed itself to implementing landscape policy into national law. However, currently, the landscape as an object of legal regulation in the legislation of Ukraine is defined only in the laws of Ukraine on environmental protection on approval of national program of formation of National Ecological Network of Ukraine for 2000-2015 of 21st of September 2000, on Ecological Network of Ukraine of 21st of June 2004, which contain general norms related to legislative provision of use and protection of landscapes. It should be noted that nowadays landscape planning is actively spreading as one of the ecologically oriented means of nature management in most development countries of the world. Landscape planning is a development of a project for use of landscapers or a project to change the goals and methods of their management using a set of methodological tools used to build as a spatial organization of society activities in specific landscapes, which ensures sustainable nature management and preservation of basic functions of these landscapes as a life support system. In our country, only the first steps are being taken to introduce landscape planning into the policy of territorial development. In the future, this will help to strengthen the relationship between environmental requirements in the field of nature management and economic, social, and cultural interest of people, encouraging them to adhere to the sustainable development goals. On 14th of June 2011, the Verkhovna Rada of Ukraine approved the principle, the draft law of Ukraine on landscapes aimed at ensuring protection, regulation, and planning on landscapes. However, on 15th of March 2012, the draft law of Ukraine on landscapes was rejected as inconsistent with the Constitution of Ukraine. Legislation framework in the field of environmental protection as the one that does not provide for comprehensive settlement of the outlined issues and does not introduce fundamentally new approaches to landscape protection. According to the draft law of Ukraine on landscapes, landscape planning itself is designed to ensure sustainable nature management. Indeed, the legislation of the principle of a landscape approach to the use of natural resources will ensure the unity, integrity, comprehensiveness of nature management, coherence, and balance of interest in this area, implementation of ideas for an ecological balanced system of natural resources. Taking into account that landscape planning ensures the implementation of the basic directions of sustainable development policy, it is deemed necessary to form and implement landscape policy in Ukraine, develop legislation, as well as intensify research in the field of landscape planning and its practical use. Thank you all for your time and attention.